Hello again. Thought I'd take advantage of some daylight saving and some nice weather after work. So I'll pop down here. I've got to solve a problem. How do you solve a problem like Merlin? I've got a lot of junk stored. Well, when I say junk, I mean stuff stored inside that bus. I've been using it as a storage shed. But I need to clean it out because I've got to get it show ready and nice and tidy. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Everywhere you look, there's stuff. And it's all stuff that I thought I might, well, that's the welder. I thought I might need again. They're leftover seats from the Atlantean. I'm going to give them back to the museum. I've got a leftover red one from this bus. I'll give that to the museum as well. There's strips of metal, stuff I don't need. There's a couple of seat backs from the Atlantean. I'll give them to the museum. People give me stuff. There's a bag and some boxes of tools and whatnot. And as you can see, it just needs a general tidy up. And I can't do that while all of this stuff is in here, so I'm going to try and work out. That is a box of sign writing stencils. So I've got to work out where to put all this stuff and get it out of the way. Throw out what I don't need. Because on the weekend, I want to clean the exterior, take it for a drive, check that the radiator's working, the cooling system's working how it should, the thermostat's opening. I mean, I was only the other day years old when I found out that there's actually a thermostat in it. I couldn't find one. So now I know where it should be. So I'll get this cleaned out. Well, at least I'll get started on it right now as we get started on another episode of Steve Stuff. Well, howdy, it's Saturday afternoon. I've just finished work. I didn't get a heck of a lot done the other night cleaning out that Merlin. It got dark pretty quick. The next night it rained, and then last night there was a concert at Olympic Park, and I just didn't want to deal with the traffic, so I didn't come down. So here I am, my next available chance to do any work. It's rained through here this morning, and I've just had an alert on my phone that there's more showers coming, so I would really like to get the Merlin out onto the concrete, get up underneath that radiator there, get it running, make sure everything's working as it should. I've also been thinking about the radiator shroud, and someone else has commented in the last video with the same idea, and that is to cut the shroud in half and try and get it in two pieces. But then I've got to overcome the weakness that would create in the overall rigidity of the thing. Also, when the guy, and I showed you this in the last video, when he cast those tents, he didn't put the studs in along the top. So I'm thinking, do I cut it horizontally, or that way, horizontally, or vertically? Got to think about that today. Anyway, we'll get her out onto the concrete where it's a little bit easier to climb around underneath as soon as I get Adam to move his car. Righto, so a little bit tidier. A lot of stuff either thrown out, put into a box to give to the museum. That's all Atlantean parts and things that I don't need. Put in a box that's going to be thrown out. Actually, not those. That's a fuel additive to get some to get all the algae out. And that's full of parts that I need. That's full of lights and lenses. If you think you can hear the engine running, you're right. I've just started the engine because I'm going to try and get the bus up to temperature now, get that thermostat open, make sure she's got enough coolant in her, make sure she stays cool. And it hasn't stopped raining. It started raining half an hour ago and now it won't stop, which is why there's cardboard all over the floor, because I'm walking in dirt. We've had success. If I just turn the battery back on, that's pretty much where the temperature gauge has been sitting the entire time the bus has been running, which is good news. The bad news is I've worked out a way that I can close that door. It's not working properly. Last year I drove to Busfest with the door open and didn't notice that that mirror was useless. But now, when I close the door, you've got no near side mirror. So, I'm going to try and work on a fix for that right now because it stopped raining but everything's wet. So there's not much more I can do today except fiddle around with that mirror. This one's good. And before anyone says they're not original Merlin mirrors, I know they're not, but these are what Eggins had on their bus in service. In fact, they had these ones on a couple of buses. I like the look. So what I've done is I've found a piece of scrap there, which I can't get the drill in to tighten it up. I just thought I'd dummy this up and see if it works. If it does, I'm on the right track. And that was a no. It didn't bring the mirror out far enough that you could see past the door. So I've been back up to the scrap metal pile and found this. And we have a solution. So I've just mocked up some brackets there. See that? There. It's not ideal, but you can actually see what's going on your near side now. So I will fix those up tomorrow, make up the brackets better, paint the brackets body colour. I think will make them disappear a little bit. And then I'll also paint all of this. We've got a big day tomorrow. The sun's just come out, as you can see, so forecast tomorrow is for good weather and lots of work. It's time to pack up. It's the next day, Sunday morning, sun's out, bus is running, and I've got a few things I want to do. I forgot to get bloody diesel. I meant to get a jerry can of diesel. I dipped the tank. There's probably about 6 inches of diesel in the bottom of that tank, and it's a fairly long tank, but I don't like sucking up stuff from the, the lower part of the tank. So anyway, I'll work out what I'm going to do later, whether or not I do go for a quickie around the block. This is what we're looking at today. Oh, I've got to point that way. That's the shroud. Gonna work out what to do with this today and fix those mirrors. First time she's been out of her pen for quite a while. Give you a bit of a walk around. You haven't really walked around this bus. You can see how dirty she is. Or he. I keep forgetting his name's Harry. After Harold Eggins, the founder of the company. So, I mean, you can see very rudimentary sign writing on the rear, not as intricate or as complete as the Decker, because with this bus, there is only one existing photograph of the original Eggins unit from the rear. That was a photo that they have in their records. It's a 3/4 side photo. It's not a full complete rear. It's taken from about there. So that's all I had to go on as far as what was written on the back. So, and that's also my first foray into doing any kind of sign writing. So it's okay for now. I might fix it up later. There's the new rad in there. Batteries. That's the automatic lubrication doodah thing. I don't think they ever worked in Australia. Fuel tank, which I dipped, and there's, like I said, about 6 inches of fuel in there. It's a very big tank. I just don't like the pump sucking up dirty fuel. It could be at the bottom there. And there we go. So I'll give it all a wash. I'll take all that cardboard out. That was all to keep the heat out while I was away at Christmas time. You can see here how hot it got. That's a bit of perspex there. Can you see how that's been almost melted from the heat that hits the side of this bus of an afternoon? Going to take that stone guard off today, finish up doing the brackets for that, trimming it up, tidying it up, giving it a paint. And I'll also do this mirror with the new brackets, which I'm about to start now. What I can probably do is see that swage line there. I can follow that down. I reckon I can just trim all this excess off. The other thing I've exposed is this trim, 3 million holes in it, and it looks terrible. So what I might do is cut a new piece of trim. So that's supposed to go in underneath that light there, and I've damaged that light fitting the mirror. I might cut a piece of trim to run all the way up over the top of that and cover those holes. Or I suppose I could just put bloody rivets in the holes and paint it, couldn't I? Let's see what I do. This is never nice to find. That screw is completely snapped. I wonder if it's under too much stress. Have to address that. Well, that's about as straight as Elton John, but the good thing is I can tidy it up and then I'll put a piece of rubber trim along the edge. A lot of stuff happens and I forget to show you, and I'm halfway done now, but a minute ago when I was putting the stone guard back on, the mounting bracket just kind of quit on me. I think it goes that way. So she's no good. So I went and got a piece of scrap metal and my hammer and vise. I just kind of made one that looks the same. Hopefully it'll work the same. Just got to finish making it. Okay, so that's pretty close. And the bend comes there. You can see that. So I'll just trim him off here now. See how it looks. As luck would have it, I bent this that way, which is the wrong way. And it wouldn't be a Steve Stuff video without me doing something like that, taking entirely 2 hours to do a 10-minute job and then not getting everything done that I wanted to get done in this video. I don't know if I'm going to get this bus washed. I don't know if I'm going to get that shroud cut in half. All I know is I'm mucking around with this. But I think I've got it close enough to where it'll work. And just bash that angle out a bit, that one there, so it looks a bit better. What I've done here is I've got a piece of aluminium trim and put over the top of that mess with all the holes, and I will paint it. There's a few areas of the bus that need a touch up with the cream before I go to Busfest, so I'll do all that at once, but it actually doesn't look too bad in just aluminium, to be honest. Now I'll finish putting the mirrors on both sides and secure this stone guard. And there we go. Bracket's done, mirrors in. My only concern is that this could move, jiggle around, probably is going to jiggle around. I can't get that top screw in any tighter. So if it's too bad whilst you're driving, which is very annoying as we all know, I might have to put a second bolt or something up, maybe into that top parking light. Don't really want to do that though because it's cast and easy to break. Anyway, that's that side. There's the stone guard, all good and painted. And that's that side. I do want to put a rubber edge on this, but I can't find it. So I've either used it or I don't know where it is because it's not in my box of rubbers. Other kind of rubbers. Anyway, I can do that later. Time's getting away on me. It's after 3 now, but as you can see, there, shit's about to get real. I'm not going to go too hard on it though. Just want to get all the dirt and the scum off it, the grime from that tree, from the motorway. She's just a bit dirty looking. So we'll give her a go and then hopefully get out on the road for a quick trip around the block. can see that unfortunately the pressure washer is A, not taking all of the road grime off, and 2, it's knocking some of the paint off in areas, fiddly areas where I obviously haven't done a very good job. So what I think I might do is run some truck wash with a broom or a brush along this side, let that sit. I'll go and do the other side and come back and see if the truck washers help remove that grime. Otherwise degreaser will help, but degreaser's a little harsh. So we'll see how we go. Right, that's a lot better. It's still not 100%, and I think, and we can still see it happening here, I think what the problem is, these strips hold a lot of crap underneath there, so every time water gets in there, it dribbles a bit more rubbish down like it's doing right now. But yeah, as you can see, bits of paint coming off where I've just got in there and not done a very good job. It's a lot better. I'll have to get up and do the roof another time, but what I'll do right now is I'll scrub the back and the other side with that soap and then come around and do it. Side isn't so bad as far as the black grime is concerned. I think the Decker has protected it from being baked on. It's still along the top, but along the sides it's not so bad. Anyway, I'm running out of hose. Back in a sec. That doesn't say too many good things about my painting, does it? All blown off just up around the gutter. The gutters have got to be painted. I found out they're supposed to be the same green as the stripes, so the gutters will get done and I'll retouch up areas that need to be touched up. Much better. Very clean. Well, not very clean, but looking good. So I'm just going to go around now and tidy up a few little things, tighten up a few things, double check all the mounts on the radiator, and then hopefully go for a quick run around the block. Well, I wasn't going to do this just yet, but the other boys have got one of their buses out and they're blocking me in. I can't get out, so I'll just give them a bit of time. I've already cut one side of this, cut the other, and go and test fit it. Even if I just put the bottom in. Someone mentioned yesterday, without the shroud, not only is the fan less efficient, but if the bus kicks a rock up,
Without the shroud, it could go straight through my brand new $7,000 radiator. So even with the bottom on, it's better than none, isn't it? So I'll keep cutting and see how it goes. Okay, which is top and which is bottom? Joking. So being a historic rego vehicle, I've got to fill out the logbook before I go anywhere. So if I get pulled over, I'm legal. Today's date is the 20th of the 10th, 24, my name, my signature. That's all it needs. Now there's still a lot of stuff on the bus. It's still very dirty, so we're probably going to see dust flying around. If you hear any loud crashes or bangs, it's just something that's slid off a seat. I'm not going to go particularly hard. I'm just going to go up and go around the block, see how she goes for temperature. Holding air okay, so we should be good. So let's go. me show you what the issue is with the fan. So I cut it in half. All is good. I got it in. All is good. I put the bottom section in so it goes in that way. And all was not good because around here you can see the surround part has broken. It's very, very weak welds. Broken away from the body, if you like. That's springing into the personal space of the fan and fouling the fan. So I've got to work out a way. Maybe I can brace it. Maybe I can try and weld it. But it's not a job for today. All right, I've got to be really quick here because I've literally got no battery left and it could cut out on me at any time. Really happy with the way she drove. The radiator is doing really well. The temperature didn't get over 70 degrees that whole little trip that we did. Last time we did that, it boiled within 10 minutes. So happy with that. Happy the way it's cleaned up. It needs another wash before Bus Fest, but we'll get to that. The shroud, that's disappointing. I should be able to fix that. I'll get to that next week and in the next video. So before my phone battery dies, I'll say goodbye. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Steve Stuff. I will see you soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Cheers.